The Presidents of the Philippines, their achievements and contributions. Emilio Aguinaldo, January 23, 1899 to March 23, 1901. Emilio Aguinaldo was the first president of the Philippines First Republic, also known as the Malolos Republic. He was inaugurated on January 23, 1899 at the Barasoain Church, Malolos, Bulacan. He led the proclamation of the Philippine independence on June 12, 1898 in his ancestral home in Kawit, Cavite. Contributions and achievements of Emilio Aguinaldo. He waved the Philippine flag in declaring the independence of the Philippines in 1898. He was the first and only president of the First Republic, the Malolos Republic, the youngest Filipino president taking office at age 28, the longest-lived president of the Philippines passing away at age 94, featured in the front and back of the Philippine 5 peso bill not circulated anymore. He led the country in the Spanish-Philippine War and the American-Philippine War. He led the proclamation of the Philippine independence, known as the President of the Revolutionary Government, signed the Pact of Biak na Bato creating a truce between the Spanish and Philippine revolutionaries. He was a well-known entrepreneur, soldier, and politician. Emilio Aguinaldo had a Bachelor of Arts college preparatory at the Colegio de San Juan de Letran in 1880. Manuel L. Quezon, November 15, 1935 to November 15, 1943. Manuel L. Quezon was the second president of the Philippines and the first president of the Philippine Commonwealth established under the United States of America. He was inaugurated on December 30, 1941 in Corregidor Island. He is known as the father of national language or ama ng wikang pambansa. He died of tuberculosis in Saranac Lake, New York. Contributions and achievements of Manuel Quezon. First president elected through a national election. First Senate president elected as president of the Philippines. The first president of the Philippines under the Commonwealth. Initiated women's suffrage in the Philippines during the Commonwealth. Manuel L. Quezon created the National Council of Education. He approved Filipino as the national language of the Philippines. Studied Bachelor of Arts at Colegio de San Juan de Letran. Studied Bachelor of Law at the University of Santo Tomas. Ranked 4th in the Philippine Bar Exam in 1903. A province, a city, a bridge, and a university in Manila are named after him. He fought for the passage of the Tidings-McDuffie Act in 1934. His body rests peacefully inside a special monument in Quezon Memorial Circle, featured in the 20 peso bill for the declaration of Filipino as the national language and the first Filipino featured on the cover of Time magazine. Jose P. Laurel, October 14, 1943 to August 17, 1945. Jose P. Laurel was the third president of the Philippines and the president of the Second Philippine Republic. His inauguration was on October 14, 1943 in the Legislative Building, now National Museum. He served president of the Philippines during the Japanese occupation during World War II. Contributions and achievements of Jose Laurel. Jose P. Laurel is the only Philippine president who served the three branches of government. He became a senator, congressman, associate justice, and president. Since the early 1960s, Laurel was recognized as a legitimate president of the Philippines. Organized Kalibapi or Kapisanan sa Paglilingkod sa Bagong Pilipinas or Association for Service to the New Philippines, a provisional government during the Japanese occupation. Laurel declared martial law and war between the Philippines and the US or United Kingdom in 1944. He is the founder of the Lyceum of the Philippines. He is a law genius, ranked second in the Philippine Bar Exam in 1915, earned a doctorate in civil law from Yale University in 1920, received honoris causa from Tokyo Imperial University in 1938, and he was assassinated twice, but he survived and recovered. Sergio Esmenia Sr., August 1, 1944 to May 28, 1946. Sergio Esmenia Sr. was the fourth President of the Philippines and the second President of the Commonwealth. He was inaugurated on August 1, 1944 in Washington, D.C. He succeeded the presidency after the death of then-President Manuel L. Quezon. During his administration, the Philippines joined the International Monetary Fund. Contributions and achievements of Sergio Esmenia Sr. Sergio Esmenia was the first Visayan to become president, born in Cebu City. He joined with U.S. General Douglas MacArthur in Leyte on October 20, 1944 to begin restoration of Philippine freedom after Japanese occupation. Founder of the Nacionalista Party, Philippine National Bank was rehabilitated and the country joined the International Monetary Fund during his presidency. The U.S. Congress approved the Bill Trade Act during his presidency. He was second placer in the 1903 Philippine Bar Exam, founder and editor of a Spanish newspaper, El Nuevo Dia in Cebu City. Had Bachelor of Arts from Colegio de San Juan de Letran in 1894. Had Bachelor of Law from the University of Santo Tomas in 1903 and featured in the 50 Peso Bell First Philippine Assembly Leyte Landing. Manuel A. Rojas, May 28, 1946 to April 15, 1948. Manuel Rojas was the fifth President of the Philippines and third and last President under the Commonwealth, and the first President of the Third Republic of the Philippines. He was inaugurated on May 28, 1946 at the National Museum building. He held the office for only 1 year, 10 months, and 18 days. Contributions and achievements of Manuel Rojas. Manuel Rojas was inaugurated as the first president of the new republic after World War II. Reconstruction from war damage and life without foreign rule began during his presidency. Congress accepted the Philippine Rehabilitation Act and Philippine Trade Act laws under his term, ranked first place in the Philippine Bar Exam in 1913, and featured in the 100 peso bill, Old Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas Building in Intramuros, Manila, inauguration of the Third Philippine Republic.